Here's a list of 30 interesting facts. 1. They built a ship almost as big as the Titanic with a double hull 50 years earlier. It hit some rocks and didn't sink because of the double hull. They didn't even have to inform the passengers about the damage. 2. China has a 5,000 kilometers underground tunnel system that is used to store and transport nukes to their silos. It's called the Underground Great Wall of China. 3. Beekeeping in Ukraine is a major economic activity. 700,000 people, 1.5% of the Ukrainian population, are engaged in producing honey. 4. You can give yourself hallucinations using 2 ping-pong balls and a radio. A Ganzfeld experiment, from the German word for entire field, is a technique used in parapsychology which is used to test individuals for extrasensory perception (ESP). The Ganzfeld experiments are among the most recent in parapsychology for testing telepathy. The Ganzfeld procedure exposes the participant to unstructured sensations, usually by placing half ping-pong balls over the eyes so they can only see diffuse white light, and by playing white noise through headphones. It is probably best known for its uses in parapsychology experiments, but it is also used to induce hallucinations and sensory distortions, which are much more likely to occur in the absence of clearly defined sensory experiences. 5. The Galileo probe experienced 230 grams of deceleration when entering Jupiter's atmosphere. This is equivalent to a change in velocity from 5,000 miles per hour to 0 in 1 second. 6. Hugh Hefner's father, a public accountant, turned him down when he needed money to start Playboy as he did not think the magazine was a good business investment. However, as he was about to leave, his mother took him aside and gave him a $1,000 check from her savings to help his venture. 7. Football Manager 2005 was banned in China because the game recognized Tibet and Taiwan as independent countries. Then a Chinese version of the game was then released with Taiwan annexed into China as per the Chinese government's wishes. 8. NASA almost named part of the International Space Station, Serenity, after the ship in Firefly, but instead settled with its synonym, Tranquility. 9. Winston Churchill was kept in a pressurized life pod every time he traveled by air during WW2. 10. The first use of poison gas in modern warfare was the chlorine gas attack by Germany on April 22, 1915 at the Second Battle of Ypres, Belgium. Its developer, chemist Fritz Haber, was Jewish and received the 1918 Nobel Prize for Chemistry for the synthesis of ammonia from its elements. 11. People with unfortunate initials, such as PIG or ASS, have significantly lower life expectancy, probably due to psychological stress related to childhood bullying. 12. Madylyn Murray O'Hair, the atheist activist who was responsible for prayer being removed from American public schools, was, along with a son and granddaughter, murdered, dismembered, and buried on a Texas ranch in the 1990s after a kidnapping went wrong. 13. The Drew Carey Show used to do April Fool's Day episodes filled with intentional mistakes, and fans would win prizes for mailing in all the ones they caught. 14. The U.S. gas guzzler tax that was designed to discourage fuel-inefficient vehicles only applies to cars, but not SUVs, trucks, and vans, since they were rarely used as passenger cars when the law was passed in 1978. The law has since not been updated to reflect modern times. 15. Swedish Navy detected underwater sounds suspected to be hostile Russian submarines in the 80s. The suspicion escalated to a diplomatic conflict between Sweden and Russia. It turned out later that these sounds came from fish farts, a discovery which led to the IG Nobel Prize. 16. Suicide candidates in 18th-century Denmark were afraid to take their own lives because they believed it would send them to hell. Instead, they resorted to killing other people to receive the death penalty and repented before execution, believing that doing so would send them to heaven. 17. Mahatma Gandhi might have been a racist, referring to blacks as savage, raw, and living a life of indolence and nakedness. He also supported the British Empire during the Boer War, where over 3,500 Zulus were killed. 18. With 1.7 million deaths during World War I, France suffered losses more than the total losses of the U.S. armed forces in all conflicts since 1776, including the Civil War. 19. Taiwan donated over $243 million to Japan after the massive Tohoku earthquake in 2011. That's more than any other country. 20. An Indonesian tribe successfully uses the gandarusa bush as a form of male birth control. Scientists say the plant prevents pregnancy by slowing down the activity of certain enzymes in the sperm that helps them wriggle into a female's ovum. 21. A 32,000-year-old extinct Arctic flower was resurrected using seeds found by an Ice Age squirrel. 22. Utah was ruled by Brigham Young as a theocracy and its application for statehood was denied for 50 years until 1890 when it was admitted as a state on the condition that its new state constitution contains a ban on polygamy. 23. When skydiver Joan Murray's main parachute and backup parachute failed, she approached the ground at 130 km/h, landing on a mound of fire ants. Doctors believe that the shock of being stung over 200 times by the ants released a surge of adrenaline, which kept her heart beating. 24. In ancient Rome, whole pigs were stuffed with sausages and fruit, roasted and served on their feet. They were split open and its guts would spill in front of diners. They were called Trojan pigs. 25. McDonald's added drive-through in 1975 to accommodate soldiers who were not allowed to get out of their cars while wearing their fatigues. 26. George R.R. Martin objected to Vietnam War and was fairly quickly granted conscientious objector status, with the draft board reasoning that being branded a coward for life would be enough punishment for not serving. 27. In most cases, it's safe to sleep after getting a concussion. 28. Wonder Woman's sword in Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice is inscribed a quote from Joseph Campbell's collection Goddess, Mystery of the Feminine Divine, life is killing all the time and so the goddess kills herself in the sacrifice of her own animal. 29. No insurance company underwrites Jackie Chan's productions. As such, he personally trains his stuntmen and pays their medical bills out of his own pocket. 30. The Euthanasia Coaster is a roller coaster designed to kill its passengers, with elegance and euphoria. Thank you for watching. We make interesting, fun, sometimes weird videos on the persFACTive channel. Our goal is to provide you with catchy, interesting, funny, bizarre videos as often as possible. I hope I can make you have a couple of fun minutes. Please follow the channel for more information. See you in the next video.